let's just say this treaty goes through. Any conservative candidate who would rescind it?
I do. I believe that there are candidates who are running today who actually would do what needs to be done, and that's remove the nuclear hardware. I think in the days and weeks ahead, that will be a question that will be posed to the candidates,
Yes.
all of the candidates, including Hillary Clinton. And at this point, that is the only answer that we have for stopping Iran from gaining a nuclear weapon, because the agreement that President Obama and the other nations of the world signed ensures, guarantees that Iran does have the nuclear weapon. Not only that, but is financially able and strong enough to be able to use that weapon and mount a vigorous defense. Iran will be lifted up and empowered. Their imperialistic ambitions for a global caliphate can be realized by them having this type of access to weapons of mass destruction.
Absolutely. They have an apocalyptic view. They're waiting for their 12th Imam. The 12th Imam comes in, riding in on chaos. They would love for chaos.
Well, their religion perfectly matches up with holding on to a nuclear weapon, but not only that, using it. One thing we've seen with the nations that hold nuclear weapons today is an unwillingness to use the nuclear weapon, almost a commitment not to use the nuclear weapon.
That's exactly right.
The difference with Iran is they are committed to using the nuclear weapon to annihilate the Jewish state of Israel and annihilate the United States. And I will tell you, Prime Minister Netanyahu has said to me personally, he has said, you need to remember, we are the little Satan in Iran's eyes, meaning Israel. The United States is the great Satan in Iran's eyes. And so he said they already have missile capacity, because don't forget that Iran is the nation that has the greatest number of missiles in the Middle East, and they use them. They're very smart people. And he said they already have missiles that can reach Israel. They didn't have missiles that could reach the United States. The reason why Iran is bent on having an intercontinental ballistic missile, and what is completely inexplicable about the president's agreement to lift the embargo, meaning that Iran today has no ability to access intercontinental ballistic missiles. Those are missiles that can get to the United States.
Right.
They go across nations, that can make it across the ocean. They don't have that capability today. Why in the world would we agree to give Iran not only nuclear bombs, but the means to deliver bombs to our backyard in America? And why would we give them economic stability, which $150 billion plus potentially $1 trillion worth of contracts and oil sales and all the rest? Why would we so empower and enrich Iran, which has an apocalyptic view?
Well, I'm not sure if you're asking a rhetorical question or if you have another answer to the questions that you're asking. I think conservative and righteous people all across the world are asking the question that you're asking there. And as we opened the program, U.S. foreign policy is now negotiating on behalf of Iran. Granted, we're an upside-down, topsy-turvy world. Up is down, down is up, black is white, etc. Can you answer the questions you just raised?
Well, no one knows the thoughts and intentions of the president's heart. The reason why I asked that question is because it's madness.
Yes, I realize that.
It is madness. It is going against the best interests of the American civilian population. It goes against the best interests of our economic situation. It goes against the best interests of America's military posture. As is important, it goes against the best interests of our greatest ally, which is the Jewish state of Israel. It makes no sense. But think of what this Iran agreement does. It not only empowers Iran, but what it does is it puts Israel in the crosshairs. And that's why what happened in mid to late July, on Monday, immediately after the nuclear agreement was announced,
July 20th.
President Obama, through his UN Security Council ambassador, Samantha Power, it was reported that Samantha Power was running around the UN Security Council before the agreement was even announced to Congress, before it was even announced to the American people. She was running around to her colleagues in the Security Council with copies of the agreement saying, get ready to sign, get ready to sign. The agreement was announced to the American people. The Obama administration did not post the words contained in the agreement. It was the Iranian mullahs that posted on the internet the terms of the agreement. That's how we know what's in it. The Obama administration was going to keep the terms of the agreement hidden from members of Congress and from the American public. It was the Iranian mullahs who were laughing like hyenas because they got absolutely everything they wanted. We got nothing that we wanted. Remember, from the very beginning, President Obama said, we're going to dismantle the Iranian nuclear program. In other words, we're going to put it out of business. They won't be enriching uranium, the fuel for nuclear bombs. They won't have a nuclear program. We're going to dismantle this thing. Well, instead of dismantling, now we're going to give them training and workshops and how to defeat anyone who tried to sabotage them. We're going to give them money to build the program. We're going to give them our technical knowledge and expertise to build more advanced centrifuges. We're going to make this thing happen.
We're going to make it happen.
And so, as I was saying, just as this agreement was being announced at the UN Security Council the following Monday after the agreement, for the very first time, the most important national security event in my lifetime
My lifetime
occurred.
as well.
And it's this. All the nations of the world signed an agreement that slams the door against Israel and opened it up to enriching and empowering the leading state sponsor of terror in the world, whose ultimate goal is the annihilation of the Jewish state.
That is Zechariah 12:3, folks. That has been predicted for lots and lots of years.
And it happened July 20th, 2015.
That's exactly right. It
with
happened
the
July
United
20th.
States
That's
leading
right.
that charge.
And there, again, I said it earlier, there are consequences to doing things like this against God's covenant land. There are horrible consequences.